Well, it's Hamburglar night in Ottawa, we think, as the surging Senators get set to meet the pressure-treated Bruins. But there is Andrew Hammond leaving the ice. He was not on for the anthem and has now just made his way to the goal crease. So a little added drama to the start of this game. Jamie, have you ever seen anything like that?
Only once in the playoffs when Roberto Luongo had an issue, let's just call it that, with his stomach, and Danny Sabrin had to come in. But a little less dramatic here for Andrew Hammond. He's got to lock it in early on.
Our starting goaltenders brought to you by Scotiabank. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank to Rask was tremendous here 9 days ago, 39 saves. And of course, the Hamburglar was at his best against Carolina with 35 stops 2 nights ago. So away we go with the 5th and final meeting between these two teams. Ottawa has won in overtime in a shootout. They need a regulation win and a quick chance here. Scores! Kyle Turris, 19 seconds in.
What a start here in Ottawa. 19 seconds in as Kyle Turris is going to finish off the rebound on Tuukka Rask. But this all starts in the neutral zone. Puck through the middle, turned over by Method. A little aerial pass to Mark Stone. He pops inside, throws it to McCulloch. Rask can't hold on to that rebound, and Turris takes it from backhand to forehand. That's just a terrific play by McCulloch to put the puck on the net. Rask unable to handle it, and Turris gives the Ottawa fans something to cheer about early on in this game.
18th of the year for Turris, the man who created perhaps the assist of the year on the overtime winner in Carolina. What a start here. They were nervous at the outset 9 days ago. A different start to be sure here tonight. Now Louis Eriksson, who had the game-winning goal for Boston last week, onto the ice. We're now told, confirmed, that Andrew Hammond had a seat issue, and that's why he raced off during the anthems to get that attended to. Boston back in. Here's Soderberg trying to bump a slump. A shot scored! And the slump's over. And return fire for Boston. It's 1-1 in the opening minute.
Chris, this is a wild start. And it's terrific work by the Bruins to enter the zone. Bit of turnover in the neutral zone. Pop play, give and go. Now Soderberg is just going to take some ice. Weirkosh tries to close the gap, and you can see Cody Ceci in the lane. Hammond unable to track that puck. Pushes off. It's just a seeing eye shot that goes blocker side. Hammond maybe a little bit deep on the play. And the Boston Bruins have had a response off that Kyle Turris goal that gave the Senators the lead.
First in 25 games for Soderberg, who had 12 shot attempts in the last game for Boston. A shootout loss against the Buffalo Sabres. Well now, should be quite a night.
It really is. You can feel the energy. This is a playoff atmosphere here, Chris, and fans are into it. Kyle Turris gave him something to cheer about. The Bruins, as I talked about before, a battle-tested team that responds right away.
Goal comes 40 seconds after the icebreaker for Ottawa. Let's see if things settle down a bit as Pajot, Condra, and Lazar were on the ice. Condra goes to the bench to start a change. Puck knocked down at center, and Gregory Campbell will play it down into the Ottawa zone, and both teams in the midst of a change now as Erik Karlsson takes over. What a performance by Karlsson in Raleigh. Played 73% of the overtime. Rask is going to freeze that as he assisted on the game-winning goal.
Chris, let's take another look at the goal. You can see Soderberg throws it towards the net. It may have been a redirection in front by Cody Ceci at the last second. You can see Hammond looking to his left, trying to track the puck, and it goes through the arm and the body. May have touched Cody Ceci's stick and changed direction at the last second.
Here's Dennis Seidenberg, one-handing it deep. Bruins advance into the zone. Daniel Paille on with Campbell, a sharp angle shot, and that one held on to with a little bit of bumping in front of the net. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Tim Hortons, the official coffee of the NHL.
Well, if you're the Ottawa Senators, I spoke about it in the opening. You need that short focus. Just get through 10-minute increments. Try and win those. Don't worry about the 2 points and try and win it early on. And if you're the Boston Bruins, finish checks, be physical, slow down that Ottawa Senators attack. The Senators are very strong when they can generate speed through the neutral zone.
Turris from McCulloch and Stone, answered by Soderberg from Louis Eriksson. At the 59-second mark, 1-1 tie, looked down by Riley Smith. He's stopped by Stone, gets it deep for Marchand, can't reach it. There's Patrice Bergeron with Marchand. Watched by Erik Karlsson, puck comes to the point, and it's Adam McQuaid sending it in behind the net. Riley Smith unable to come up with that, and Turris will take it away. Up ahead for Stone, the overtime hero. 2 nights ago, Mark Stone jostles in the corner. Bergeron in to help out. Stone tries to come away with the puck. Unable to do so, and flipped out to center past Ceci. Here's Patrick Wiercioch, who played so well on Tuesday. Puck sent back into the Boston zone. We're 3 minutes in. Marchand winding up. On a hot streak when he last visited Ottawa, has not scored in his last 5 after that little run. Louis Eriksson plays it in behind the net. Eriksson goes to the front. It'll come back to Chara. His shot right on. Soderberg looked for the rebound. Ottawa's on it. And Ceci lugs it out. Moves it to Wiercioch and back to Ceci. Patrick Wiercioch had a goal at 9 shot attempts against the Hurricanes. One of his best games of the year.
Certainly was, Chris. He was outstanding last game, and we talked about him stabilizing within the lineup and Coach Dave Cameron giving him more responsibility, and he certainly responded with that extra ice time and really become a staple in that top 4 for the Senators.
Ryan ahead to Hoffman. This line trying to get back on the score sheet. Hoffman inside the line is stopped. And out comes Ryan Spooner, who was as good as any Bruin here the last time in, with a pair of goals in what he called his best performance in the NHL. Shot, scores! A change direction off the shot by Lucic, and the Bruins have the lead.
It's going to be a turnover deep in the Senators zone. It pops up the wall, and that's what is going to create the opportunity for Milan Lucic. Borowiecki going back, takes contact. Gryba pops in there. The puck pops loose. Now you can see Pasternak get inside position. Lucic just throws it towards the net and hits a shin pad on the way in.
I think that hit Spooner.
It does. And eludes Andrew Hammond on that short side. And you can see a lot of traffic in front of Hammond early on, and that guaranteed, that's what the focus is from the Boston Bruins, is get in the eyes of Andrew Hammond. He's seeing everything, or stopping everything that he sees. And Lucic right now is getting credit for the goal, but an opportunity towards the net. 2-1 for the Bruins.
Well, unless it hit the Senator defense, but here's another chance, and that time Hammond made the stop on the doorstep. A close call there. As the puck is fired down the ice, Max Talbot almost had a 3rd Boston goal. So the Bruins with the lead after that 19-second icebreaker by the Ottawa Senators. Puck played ahead, and now it's Condra to the attack with Pajot. Loose was Karlsson. Pajot sends it deep. Condra will swing it across in front, and Pajot unable to come up with the rebound. And Boston clears down the ice.
That's good work by this 3rd line. We talked about them at length, Pajot, Lazar, and Condra, just generating chances off the forecheck. And again, they're just funneling everything towards the net. Tuukka Rask with a good paddle down, saved it, keeps it out.
Marchand striding after, unable to catch up with that, deflected to the line, but not out. Now Mark Stone gloves it down, and he'll start back. Karlsson from center will shoot it in wide of the net. McCulloch in pursuit of the puck, and it's Chara ahead. So they now credit Spooner with his 4th from Lucic and Pasternak. So that's 3 goals in 4 periods for Ryan Spooner against the team he grew up watching. Played his minor hockey at the Sens Plex. There's another shot, hammered with the stop. And on the doorstep, Riley Smith. So Ottawa giving up scoring chances to Boston here after a quick start. Stone will play it in. And there goes Turris racing after it against Dougie Hamilton. Turris from the corner. able to swivel away from the check of Soderberg, and now Soderberg trying to tie him up. Ryan has arrived on the scene to help out, and he is hit heavily by Chara. Chara a little slow to get up as he lost his stick on the contact. So did Ryan. Both sticks went flying, and play is stopped. Both felt the effects of that. What a start. 6:20 in. Already 3 goals on the board.
It hasn't been the start that Andrew Hammond has wanted. And even before the game, he has to go in for some repairs on his skates. Goaltenders are a creature of habit. They want to get out, scrape their crease, get into the game, be ready and focused for that drop of the puck. He has to race out, get into his net, have a slight scrape as the puck is dropped. And within the first minute, he's a little deep on the play, doesn't track the puck, and then Ryan Spooner gets an opportunity and gets a goal for the Boston Bruins to make it 2-1.
Bobby Ryan just came close with a shot that went through Rask and out the other way. Now along the boards, Ryan comes up with it. Bobby Ryan without a point in his last 6, but he has been lethal against Boston with a game winner and a shootout decider so far this season, and the pair of Ottawa wins. After it again against Charles, Zibanejad took it away. He's knocked out in front of the net. Hoffman on it. In behind the goal, and the captain of the Bruins will take over. The former Senator Chara up ahead to another ex-Ottawa player in Chris Kelly. Kelly takes a swat at the puck with Hoffman in control of it. Ottawa gets it back. Here's Soderberg, pocket pick, and it's knocked back to center.
Real scrambly start here.
Gonna say it a little bit frantic, isn't it?
It really is. You can feel the nervousness of the Senators, and the pace is there, but they've got to slow their game and their in-game decisions down. It's almost like they're trying to force pucks, and they've had almost a couple turnovers that have cost them.
Coach talked about a lot of 50-50 shifts. Here's Eric Greiber back in the lineup. Can't sift it through with the heavy traffic. Matt Pumpel, he's hit hard by Adam McQuaid. Pumpel, of course, with a lone goal for Ottawa. Referee down and slow to get up as he got caught up in the traffic. Kelly Sutherland, Francis Chiron are in charge tonight. It's just bedlam out there.
It really is. The pace is so high. And like I've talked about before, it's almost like a playoff game, and the nervous energy within the building, and the players have to slow things down. The refs are involved physically.
Greiber with a good hit on Lucic. Now plays it to Connor. Shot right on, and the rebound comes out and gets collected by Spooner. Ryan Spooner back, and maybe under a little pressure tonight to perform with David Krejci starting to skate, and may even return to the Bruin lineup by the weekend. And a lot of speculation in Boston that Krejci would take Spooner's spot, but the way he's played, that might be a tough decision for Claude Julien.
Well, and it was Carl Soderberg that was under so much scrutiny because he hadn't put the puck in the net. Obviously, he changed that with tonight's goal, but that's nice to have options with Krejci coming back because you can push Spooner into more sheltered minutes.
Bartkowski sending it in, and Hammond will hold on to that.
Go back and take a look at Eric Greiber, who was inserted back into the lineup for Jared Cowan. Puck's going to go back to the point. Legwand gets it back to him. You've got traffic in front, puts it towards the net, and then Kelly Sutherland gets involved physically and gets run over. Earlier, Bobby Ryan got an opportunity, steps right off, and it slides between the wickets of Tuukka Rask and out the other side. So the Senators starting to settle down in the offensive zone and use the body and create that cycle.
Face-off won by Bergeron. Adam McQuaid to the right side. Bergeron at 59.9%, leading the NHL in face-offs. And the Bruins have won 59.3% of the draws against Ottawa in the season series. Turris across. Stone is able to get it in, and after it is McCulloch, a hot shot from a tough angle that Tuukka Rask is able to stop. Rask did not play the last game against Buffalo, and then had a day off, a maintenance day. But back in tonight for what Claude Julien says is Boston's biggest game of the year as well.
Well, Tuukka Rask, you talk about him having the maintenance day. It's just a nice down-the-wall play. McCulloch's just going to throw it to the net, but look at how patient Rask is, just down, easy, keeps the puck in front of him. When he's at the top of his game, he's an elite goaltender in this league, and And I talked so much and been raving about Hammond and how slow his games has become as far as getting ahead of the puck and just making things look easy. Save like that from a bad angle. Rask has been doing it for years.
Here's one of those set plays the Bruins are noted for. Face-off wins and a stretch pass to Marchand, but there physically for Ottawa was Erik Karlsson, who, by the way, led the Senators in hits with 5 against the Canes. He did just about everything against Carolina.
You're right, Chris. Erik Karlsson was outstanding. A 200-foot game last game.
Back in, Soderberg trying to center, denied by Karlsson, who played 32:05 against Carolina. Another shot, Hammond stopped it, and the rebound gathered up by Mathot and sent to center. Jackie Hamilton sends it back in. Starting to settle down as we pass 10 minutes of the opening period. A 1-goal Boston lead after Kyle Turris opening goal at the 19-second mark.
Well, you work out that nervous energy, you get a couple shifts underneath your legs and settle your minds down a little bit and realize it's just another game. And that's what the Senators have been able to do, and get on the forecheck and get skating too and slow their plays down so they can execute.
Nice rush there by Weirkosh. The shot went wide. Bruins now look up ice. Seidenberg sent it off the right side, and it's bounced in, directed to the boards by Hammond, following up Spooner with a shot that goes wide. Seidenberg moves up, knocked off his stick, and Lazar goes after it. Bartkowski there for Boston, but Lazar prevails. And here's Lazar over the line, one-handing it to Pajot, working in, backhand is blocked. Good block on the play by Torrey Krug, and the Bruins hit the center and send it in.
Nice little offensive rush there by Pajot, Condra, and Lazar. Funneling everything towards the net. Torrey Krug at the last second takes away a good opportunity.
Pass out of the reach of Bumpel, and it slides the length of the ice. It's an icing call.
Go back to Erik Karlsson and what he's been able to do for this team, and we all know he's one of the best defensemen in the league offensively, but defensively, using his body. We all know he's not a big guy physically as far as carrying a lot of weight, but it's about body position. It's about, I know people don't like the word compete, but when you need that shift toughness, Erik Karlsson delivering that is always in the right position with his body, and that's just great skating and great awareness on the ice, and we've seen his game elevate. Obviously coincides with Marc Mathot coming back in the lineup and settling everyone down.
He played 329 of the 446 in overtime the other night. By the way, Bill Peters, the coach of Carolina, the losing coach of the game, called it one of the best overtimes he'd ever seen. Max Talbot behind the net. He's upended. Penalty upcoming against Gryba. Centering pass. Hammond kicked that out. And play is called. And the Bruins are going to get the first power play of the night. Eric Gryba back in the lineup, but headed to the box for this trip on Max Talbot.
Welcome back to Canadian Tire Center, where the first 10,000 fans got free Hamburglar masks tonight as a courtesy of the TSN 1200 radio station. Now, the only problem is these aren't the original masks. There was a snowstorm in Digby, Nova Scotia, and so they couldn't get the original ones out. So a local company quickly manufactured 10,000 masks to have them ready for tonight, and this is the original one. Chris and Jamie, I have yours.
That's gold.
Outstanding. They get a bonus for that.
Bruins to the power play. Haven't scored in their last 14 attempts, looking to extend their lead here. That clearing attempt ends up on the stick of Spooner, and a shot turned away by Hammond. Spooner getting another good look, and now it's Bergeron with it. He'll dish to Torrey Krug. Up top for Dougie Hamilton, co-leader in power play goals for the Bruins with 5. Down low and out of the reach of Krug, who moved up. Hamilton on the backhand, sends it deep again. That's the defenseman Krug in deep, plays it back. Bergeron will cover at the left point. Trying to center for Louis Eriksson in front. That's denied. Spooner to Bergeron. And now Krug back in front. Tips Eriksson, unable to reach it. And somehow that stays out as Bergeron had a chance. Hamilton a drive. And that's off a skate in front and cleared.
Real good pressure here by the Boston Bruins. Great puck movement. You get everything down to the net. And Andrew Hammond with a terrific right pad save, and I think Bergeron just put that over the net, but good work here by the Bruins on the PP.
Bruins 20th on the power play, tied for 9th. The Senators on the kill. Chara loads and fires, and Hammond turns that aside. Lucic comes up with a rebound. Plays it back to Riley Smith. Now it's Pasternak, the rookie, with the shot, and through that traffic. Good glove stop for Hammond, who settles in.
Patrice Bergeron with his best opportunity of the game. As I talked about the puck movement here, through the seam, Hammond with the right pad save, and then Bergeron curling drags it and puts it over top of the net. And this in jeopardy right now. Most starts with 2 goals or less. Andrew Hammond at 12, and he's allowed 2 so far in this game, and lots of game left for the Boston Bruins to try and break that streak of his.
2 on the first 4 shots tonight in that wild start that included him not on the ice during the anthem. Now more problems here. The late stages of the power play as Pajot has a broken stick. Bergeron shot, and that hit the debris and broke up the play, allowing a clear here by Condra. And now Pajot's got a new cue. Pass onto the left side. Eriksson trying to center in a sprawling defensive play by Mark Borowiecki. It'll come back to the point. Drew pulls it in. His shot is deflected up and out of play with 1 second left in the Greiba penalty.
Outstanding work by Mark Borowiecki on the back door as Erik Karlsson tries to pick up the play through the middle, and Pajot snaps his stick off to draw. Now you've got an opportunity, a 5-on-3 situation, clear the zone and get back in, and now puck, the broken stick actually makes its way towards Andrew Hammond, goes out in the neutral zone. And this play right here, Erik Karlsson tries to pick that off. Borowiecki takes away that backdoor option with a sliding play to take away a potential one-timer goal.
So 5 shots for the Bruins on the power play, but the Senators survive. It remains 2-1 as Ottawa returns to full strength. Weirkosh, that short outlet to Zibanejad, and now Hoffman away. This line that carried some offense for a stretch for Ottawa, now without a goal together in the last 5 games. And here's a long-range shot by Ceci. It's Zibanejad on the backhand, and a stop there by Tuukka Rask with 5:24 remaining in the first period. 2-1 Boston.
Welcome back once again, Canadian Tire Center. Now, this is Tyler Buck and Ben Spiro, 2 equipment room guys who try to do different puck designs before warm-up. Well, tonight we challenged them something different. A hamburger stack. So they took 30 hamburgers and made a pyramid of their own before everybody tried to eat them. Now these guys really tried to get into their work, and so they enjoyed getting it done. But you can't go to a drive-thru, Jamie, and order 45 hamburgers. We tried.
I've tried a few times in my career, but I've been shut down. Not 45, but
I was going to say this crew could eat 45.
yes, we've got a couple guys that like to strap on a feed bag.
Erik Karlsson at center. Mark Stone on the right side. Plays it in behind the net. It ricochets to the goal scorer. Turris out in front. Here's a chance. Scores! Milan McCulloch with his 200th. And the game is tied at
2. Scramble play in front of Tuukka Rask. McCulloch's going to get the puck and slide it by the right side of him on the right pad. It all starts with Karlsson advancing the puck to Mark Stone. Throws it towards the net. It's going to bounce off the boards. Now Turris, again, trying to find Stone in the back door. It hits a skate, slides right to McCulloch, changes sides east-west, and he's able to beat Tuukka Rask. See as it slides right through the back door. Rask is late to get there, and McCulloch ties this game up for the Ottawa Senators.
So back on even terms at 15:03. Been a while coming for McCulloch to get number 200. This is second and 14. But he's had some chances of late.
He has, and Turris trying to find, as I said before, Stone on that back door through the seam, and just a favorable bounce that comes right to McCulloch. Forehand one-timer is able to elude Rask, and the Senators have certainly settled down here in this period to get back to even.
So that line has both goals and, I believe, 6 scoring points between them. As McCulloch connects for what is his 13th of the year. High off the glass, Greiva comes down to knock his man down and work for the puck in the corner. It's dug out there. Hoffman couldn't get loose. Zibanejad directed it toward the net, and now it gets by Borowiecki and out to center. Stone and Turris do draw assists on the McCulloch goal, so it is 6 points in this first period for the Turris line, who produced the game winner the other night. There's Adam McQuaid tying up his man. They're locked up and still trying to separate. Ryan holding him as they finally break up. And Ryan gets onside. In the corner, Condra throws it behind the net. David Legwand unable to come up with it. Here's Weirkosh in low. Patrick Weirkosh. Eric Condra. Bad angle shot. That was blocked. Spooner plays it in behind the net to Torrey Krug. Chiasson took a run at him. Pasternak out. He lost his footing as he played it back into the zone. A mistake. Chiasson. Stop, rebound. And he played it wide. Penalty pending against Boston. Alex Chiasson with a chance. Extra attacker comes out. Centered. And that's shot wide by Legwand. Ceci drops it off. Chiasson. It'll be Turris, the extra attacker. His shot blocked at the side of the net. And it's played by Boston. And Lucic touched it. The hooking penalty being assessed with 3:06 left in a wild first period.
Opportunity towards the net as Pasternak tries to get it back to McQuaid, and Condra reads it perfectly. Chiasson gets two opportunities and puts it wide on Tuukka Rask, and then earlier in the play, Bobby Ryan and McQuaid get tangled up. Ryan not giving him an inch, and you can see McQuaid battling to get loose from him. Little physical confrontation, and Bobby Ryan works to get back on side. That helps create that chance and create an opportunity as the Senators go to the power play.
0 for 15 in their last 5 home games. Looking for a power play goal here to retake the lead. McCulloch, Stone, and Turris are up front. Carlson and Weirkosh on the points. Puck shot in, a chance for Chara. And the aerial backhand back into Ottawa ice.
Well, it could have been an icing play, but Turris ended up getting inside position. Chara was smart on the play, the backhand, to clear at 200 feet.
Turris plays to the left side. Weirkosh moving in. Tried to pass across. That hit a Bruin stick. Back to Carlson, looking for his 25th power play point of the year. It'll be Turris. Weirkosh. And now back up top. Erik Karlsson's got it. Karlsson moves in, fired it across. No tip, and the puck boomerangs back to the Ottawa line.
He was looking for Mark Stone through the seam on the back door. Stone couldn't pick it up because there was bodies in front, and ended up going out, clearing the zone.
Now Ryan's out and goes to the attack. His pass comes back to him. Daniel Paille in a penalty killing role. Karlsson, Weirkosh, rolling puck, and Paille out high on Weirkosh. Now it's played back to the point again. Karlsson surveys, rink wide. Back to Karlsson, here's the shot. Stopped by Rask, rebound. Legwand with a backhand as he is tied up and gets worked over.
Chris, an opportunity towards the net. They're going to slide through the back door to Erik Karlsson. Karlsson tries to go by the ears of Tuukka Rask. Tuukka Rask defers to that butterfly save and hits him up high on the left shoulder, and Rask able to fight for that rebound. Good chance though, good play to get Karlsson through the seam, just unable to convert.
Shots now 14-13 in favor of the Bruins. That pass cut off, and Bergeron will play it in the dying seconds of the power play. Maybe time for one last rush. Mathot, Ceci, penalty done. 2 shots with the man advantage. And it remains tied at 2 into the final minute of this opening period. Mathot dispatches it into Boston ice. Rask hands it away. Open net, and it's played wide. Oh, what a chance. And Hoffman healed it wide of the net on a Tuukka Rask giveaway. And that 25th goal of the year has been an elusive one for Mike Hoffman.
That was an unreal sequence because it was a great read to know that Tuukka Rask was going to go to the backhand. Hoffman, no better chance with a 4x6 staring at him, and just heals it wide.
Everybody's going to have to take one big deep breath at the end of this period.
It has been an outstanding period. A great response again by the Ottawa Senators. A very resilient group that continues to work the way regardless of the score.
Scramble along the boards as the clock drains in the period, and that'll do it. 14-13 the shots. Had Mike Hoffman got a 14th shot on goal, it would have been 3-2.
Well, you can see Tuukka Rask just wants to reverse it to Dougie Hamilton. And it's a great read here. Rask's going to stop it. Heads up play, a little reverse bump. But it's read by Stone. You see Stone behind the net actually throws his arms in the air. He can't believe that Hoffman heals it as it goes out the crease the other side. The score is still 2-2 after the first.
Leading goal scorer unable to put Ottawa in the lead. It's 2-2 after a while. 20 minutes in Ottawa. Here's Brian Mudryk. Nice moment about 5 o'clock today when the two coaches got to meet up and visit briefly. Don't think either expected the kind of first period that we saw here tonight. First period scoring summary is brought to you by the Metro Ford dealers of Ottawa, and it started quickly. 2 goals in the opening minute. Both teams had the lead, 2-2 after 2 periods of play, 14-14. And out of all that, Jamie, a little resilience shown by Ottawa.
Absolutely, yes. It could have been an ugly start here for the Ottawa Senators. Turris scores early on, but then a response by the Boston Bruins throwing pucks towards the net. But true to fashion, the Ottawa Senators stick with their game plan and actually take the play to the Boston Bruins, generating chances, battling back into this game to tie the game, and actually doing a terrific job to gain momentum. And this is something that you build on going into the second period by making sure that Boston's back on their heels. And that'll be the message in between the periods from the coaching staff. Settle down, play your game, and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, the best line for Ottawa in the opening period starts the second. Turris, McCulloch, and Stone out on the ice against Patrice Bergeron with Riley Smith and Brad Marchand. Puck played along the boards into the skates of McCulloch. He's tied up. Marchand can't get away. Now Bergeron trying to get it back to him. Pocket picked by McCulloch, who rolls it down into Boston ice.
Good work along the boards by the Senators. That's the strength of the Boston Bruins, is creating that cycle and being strong on the boards. And Senators do a good job in their own zone and shutting those boards out and chipping it out to safe ice.
Here's Bergeron feeding it across to Marchand, knocked away from him. Boston was changing during the play, and back comes Turris with McCulloch. Turris trying to swing it in front, had a little trouble with that pass. It'll come to Stone. Back to Mark Borowiecki, plays the bank, and so does Rask, who will smother it. And we are down to 1 referee tonight. You saw Kelly Sutherland get caught in the action in the first period, and he has not returned.
It was a crossfire play here. As you can see, Spooner goes towards the net, or tries to close on Chiasson behind the net and runs over Sutherland, and he's not present here to start this second period for the referee crew.
So a little old school 1 referee action. Bobby Ryan in front, and that one sent wide by Hoffman. Another good look for Mike Hoffman. There's a shot that doesn't get through. Hoffman after it. Chara knocks him off balance, and the puck comes to Kelly. Boston is out, but that rush broken up by Greiba. Now Hoffman back to the attack, and he's unable to get loose at the Bruin line. Dougie Hamilton, they added an assist to Hamilton on the first goal by Boston. He ventures in deep. Now Hoffman's, or Zibanejad sidestep to hit. Kelly keeps it in. And Ryan back to one-handed, trying to keep it away from Soderberg. Eric driving in for Jared Cowan. A good pass that sends away Ryan. He's got Hoffman and Zibanejad. Back to Ryan. Across, and the shot doesn't get through. Broken up in front of the net by Krug on a dangerous 3-on-2 rush. But now Boston to the attack. In front of Bartkowski to Pasternak. And like Hoffman, he redirected that wide with a lot of room to shoot. Now a giveaway. Hoffman back in, but it's offside at the line. And play is stopped.
Trading chances against, and as you talked about, Chris, I don't know if the coaches love this, but it's a 3-on-2 situation. Zibanejad and Ryan try and find each other. It's great work on the back door by Seidenberg, and then Hammond gets a little luck on the back door as Pasternak just slides it through the crease. But chances for both organizations unable to convert.
Feels like there's been some terrific goal-scoring chances, and yet not one shot has been registered yet here in the second period.
They're all around it, but it's just the execution now.
Cody Ceci up ahead on the right side. Pajot moves it ahead. Condra in pursuit of the puck. Hamilton back to wired around the boards. It reaches Pasternak with a rink-wide pass. Here's Lucic. Knocked off his stick. Good reach there by Ceci. Condra after it, and the puck played to the line and out. Deflected back in by Spooner, and that will trigger a change for the Bruins. Ceci winds up. Moving deftly through center. Over it goes to Condra. Return pass, and it comes across. Chiasson unable to catch up with that. Chiasson comes up with it, playing in his 150th game. But scores! David Legwand! First in 16 games, Legwand has given Ottawa the lead.
His 9th goal of the season, but this is all made possible by Condra finding Legwand in the middle. Little chip play down low. Going to cycle down. Nice turnover by Chiasson on the wall. Now he's going to pop it down to Condra. Legwand ends up skating into that quiet area, taking some ice for himself. Bruins players all around, but unable to close on him. Legwand with the forehand one-timer beating Tuukka Rask, glove side, but all made possible by the turnover by Chiasson lifting a stick on the wall, and the Senators have the lead.
So Eric Condra continues his stellar play of late. And the Senators have their second lead of the night. Out they break once again. Over the line is Turris, able to recollect and send it across, and tied up was McCulloch at the back door. So Legwand from Condra and Chiasson at 3:11. And it's 3-2 Senators. Turris sends it in. Took a bump from McQuaid. There's Torrey Krug. He'll move it ahead past Marchand. And it rolls down into the Ottawa zone. Mark Borowiecki, who announced today that on Sunday he suffered a dislocated rib in the Sunday game in that crash along the boards. And unbelievably popped it back in and barely missed a shift. Canadian Tire Senators Hockey on TSN is brought to you by the bold new 2015 Toyota Camry. One bold choice leads to another.
Milan Michalek is going to get an opportunity on the back door. Good speed through the neutral zone by Kyle Turris. Throws it cross crease to try and find Michalek driving hard to the net. McQuaid does a good job getting underneath the stick and taking away a quality chance, but it's good pace here to start the second period by the Ottawa Senators, who've really found their game right now, and they need to sustain it.
The Legwand goal, the only shot so far in the period. 4:20 in. Dougie Hamilton, long lead feed. It'll be sent into the zone by Kelly, who was jostled there by Eric Gryba. Decision to go with Gryba instead of Jared Cowan. Cameron, part of the explanation. First of all, coach's decision, but didn't want to keep Grybe out of the lineup too long, nor did he want to keep Cowan prior to that out of the lineup too long. Wants to keep everybody in the midst of the action, and maybe tonight the deciding factor, a chance to get everybody on the right side as Borowiecki returns to his right side of the ice.
You're right, Chris. You have to keep everyone in the rotation to keep them fresh down the stretch.
Here's a chance for Ryan, and he overskates it. Now sweeps it wide. And Lucic on the other side will chip it past Ceci back into the Ottawa zone. Ryan took a peek and lost the handle on the puck. They've had some chances here, the Zibanejad line. Centered in front, Ceci had moved up and it was deflected past him, and Ryan gets back to take it away for Ottawa. Up high off the glass and now sent back into the Senator zone where Ceci will take over. Slows things down. Now Weirkoff. Here's Zibanejad. Little ball on the play by Krug. In his Condra trying to jam it. Penalty pending against Boston. And now Seidenberg with a hit behind the net at the end of the play. But it's Krug headed to the box for Boston.
Torrey Krug ends up tripping in the neutral zone and swiping at the puck. He's going to get a slashing play or penalty on Zibanejad as Condra takes it from backhand to forehand and tries to jam it in. And Bobby Ryan, nice little play in his own zone. To pop it to Zibanejad, gets it back, just takes a little peek and it rolls off of his stick. He still corrals it, puts it towards the net, but it ends up going wide on the play.
Krug in the box, second power play of the night for Ottawa. 2 shots on their first man advantage. Carlson, Turris, here's Stone. Down low it goes, back into the slot. McCulloch pigs, backhand right on, and Rask holds on to that.
It's good work by Milan Michalek to stay with the puck. It's a little nice option down low, a bouncing puck that actually eludes him on the first opportunity. Going to be thrown down low. Turris puts it right back on a tee for him, but he's able to corral it, get it to his backhand and throw it towards the net here. Good concentration. A lot of other players would have got frustrated with the play. He sticks with it, gets an opportunity out of it.
1 for 13, the Ottawa power play against Boston in the season series. And out comes Marchand, who is so dangerous shorthanded. Brad Marchand with a pair of shorthanded goals this season. Carlson leads the attack. He'll send it wide. A reach. And Kelly got ahead of McCulloch. It's an icing call as the shoot-in came from the Ottawa side of center.
And Chris, talking about Mark Stone and how good he is at turning pucks over. He's number 3 in the National Hockey League. And you look at his blade. It's sawed off. And you were talking to people about that blade this morning, weren't you, Chris?
Dave Cameron talked about how he can jam that blade squared off against the boards so good along the boards, retrieving pucks, and also noted he uses the longest stick on the Senators. Old coach and Brandon Kelly McCrimmon encouraged him to do that. Here's a centering pass, and there is Stone. Thought Stone would benefit from a longer reach in tight, and that was a dangerous little shoot in. Seen a few of those go in.
You take a look at Mark Stone's long stick being used. This has led to the 2-2 goal being scored as he throws it behind the net. He's able to corral it on the boards, and then the backdoor pass, it ends up hitting him and eluding Dougie Hamilton on the back door. He's a real efficient player. I've really grown to be a big fan of Mark Stone's work, and obviously he's going to continue to get better as he gains more experience.
Leads all rookie scorers since January 1st. Here's Carlson moving up. Now it's back to Hoffman. Across the one-timer, kicked away. Looked like it was going wide on the shot by Ryan. Carlson again. Like one, returns it to Carlson up top. Into the middle for the captain, fires, and that was blocked en route and ricochets back to center. Half minute of power play time left. Gregory Campbell out in a penalty killing role. Ottawa invades Bruin ice once again. Hoffman, Carlson incoming, that's blocked. Campbell in the shooting lane, and he'll clear.
Greg Campbell with another terrific block, and Chris, you pointed out the little details of Campbell's game. I mean, I know his underlying numbers aren't great, but those are the types of things that Claude Julien trusts in him in a lot of penalty kill and last-minute situations for the Boston Bruins.
Drew got to the box and right to the attack, waiting for help, and a shot handled by Hammond. Bergeron to Marchand, to the point, Chara. His shot doesn't get through, and ricochets back inside the Boston zone off Bobby Ryan.
That's a top player getting in a lane, paying a price, knowing the magnitude of this game right here. Bobby Ryan with a nice block.
Mark Lathot up the wall. Pajot to work. Into the middle it goes. Pajot follows. He's got a chance. And whistle a wide rebound. And Lazar shot that off target. Nice opportunity for Jean-Gabriel Pajot in the slot. And back in they come again. This terrific third line. Pajot just missed as he wired that shot to the far post. Into tight. Condra after it, trying to shake the checking of Chara. Condra pulled down. Legwand trying to feed it back. And Chara gets hit there by Lazar. It's a rookie. Knocked Chara off balance. Buckled him with the hip. Now a pass for Lazar in front, and it didn't reach him, and the Bruins are able to clear it. Borowiecki just stepped up on Riley Smith. Things starting to get a little more physical. Smith to the bench. Puck hit him en route, and turning back, here's Pumpel in. Pumpel's shot is blocked by Big Chara. Lucic to work down the left flank, cut off there by former Boston University Terrier Alex Chiasson.
Him and Lucic going at it over by the bench here. Lucic didn't like Chiasson getting low on that hit.
Chiasson looked to the official for a call. Here's Carlson, hot shot. Rask the stop, the rebound, loose in front. And Soderberg comes up with that, and now Chiasson with a little slash on the defenseman.
As you said, Chris, the emotion level's gotten very high. Physical factor. And that was an outstanding shot by Erik Karlsson. Good save by Tuukka Rask on the play.
Actually, Chiasson with a whack at Chris Kelly that went undetected, and now Stone is upended. It'll be a shot from the point that whistles wide. Around it comes, and the Bruins able to work it out to center. Shots in the second period, now 6-2 in favor of Ottawa. Turris is going to get a penalty. Louis Eriksson tripped up by Kyle Turris inside the Bruin line. Turris doesn't like the call. And now Dave Cameron's team will be shorthanded. Here's a look at it. Eriksson down. Boston to the power play.
Kyle Turris didn't like the call. He's getting an explanation from ref Francois Chiron, and then you see Ceci pops it right to Pajot, who has a terrific opportunity, fires it wide, and then it gets physical. Borowiecki stepping into Riley Smith. Lucic on Eric Gryba. Both teams know the magnitude of these 2 points at stake here.
Bruins second power play of the night. Dangerous on their first 5 shots. Trying to get back on even terms just past the midway mark of the second period. Krug leads them in, tried to feed Bergeron. Didn't work. Giveaway. Spooner. Stopped by Hammond. Good luck for Ryan Spooner. Already a goal in this game, and 3 against Ottawa. Hamilton back to Spooner. Former Peterborough Pete to the former Niagara Ice Dog. Shot wide. Loose in front. Borowiecki clears, but a high stick on a Bruin is going to have Ottawa 2 men short. Eric Gryba the stick up on Louis Eriksson. And 81 seconds of 5-on-3 power play time for Boston.
It is an errant stick on the back door. It's going to place the Senators back 5-on-3, and Gryba heavy on the stick. It ends up clipping Eriksson. Pajot was actually giving it to Eriksson on the way to the bench. Felt that he sold it a little bit, but regardless of on that view or not, if he sold it or not, the ref bought it. Senators are in a 5-on-3 situation for a minute 21 or less.
Major test here to leg wand out, and Boston prevails on the draw. Chara across, swung in front, that hit Borowiecki. Now Borowiecki reaches for it, leg wand after it. There's Chara along the boards. Boston without the 5-on-3 goal so far this year. Krug across it, Hammond came over to stop Bergeron.
That was an outstanding right pad save. Great read by Hammond on the back door.
Back in for Bergeron. Now Krug in front. Spooner scores. Tie game. Ryan Spooner has double-dipped again.
Well, Chris, it's that 5-on-3 situation. Good puck movement by the Boston Bruins. Hammond's going to make an outstanding save on Bergeron with a fake slap shot by Krug. Good read to get across, and then it gets set up. And it's all about selling it. Back through the seam, Krug looks like he's going to shoot that. Everyone's puck focused, slides it back door to Spooner for a wide open net. And the Bruins tie this game up and still have $1:30 left on the power play, or on the penalty to Eric Gryba.
I'm a dad watching as their son has just recorded his second 2-goal game against the team he grew up watching. 4 of his 5 goals against Ottawa. Here's a giveaway. A chance in front. Pajot scores! Seconds later, return fire from Ottawa.
What a response here by the Ottawa Senators. Relentless forecheck. Rask is going to hand it over to Smith. Smith very casual on the play as Pajot sticks with it. Is able to help turn that puck over as it gets ahead of Smith. Condor is able to identify that. Pajot outweights Tuukka Rask, who's aggressive on the play. This is just a bad mistake here by Smith. Doesn't have support on the play. And the Senators take the lead shorthanded.
5th goal for Pajot. All have come at home. He was recently told he's here to stay this year, which might be in the what took so long file. There's Spooner shooting. Stick breaks. Puck retrieved. Spooner's got it again. Condra's second assist of the game on the go-ahead short-handed goal. 40 seconds of power play time left for Boston. And a shot from the point off the goal post. The inside of the post on a hot shot from Dougie Hamilton.
And that just barely stayed onside. Hamilton was actually backing out. Rolling puck, and he hammered that. Hammond didn't get a good look at it and hit the post.
Hamilton sends it back in deep, in behind the net. Carlson unable to clear. Bruins get it back. It'll be Riley Smith, or check that, Pasternak at the point. Shot deflected wide of the net. Cece's on it. Pasternak gets it back. There's Hamilton. And Lucic, down low it goes. Loose in front. Penalty over. Hammond down. Scores! Tie game again. It's Torrey Krug.
Pressure all over the net on Andrew Hammond. Krug is going to pick up a rebound on the back door, take it from backhand to forehand, and just elevate it over the right pad of Hammond. Hamilton's going to throw it wide to Lucic. Gets down low. A little saucer pass that ends up popping down to the middle. Hammond's able to make the initial save. Carlson can't take Krug on the back door, and we've got a tie game here as the Bruins show a little bit of resilience of their own to make this 4-4. Hold on to your hats. This is going to be a high-scoring game, but it's certainly been entertaining.
So it comes at the end of the power play. Gryba had just returned to the ice. A 5-on-3 goal to tie, a shorthanded goal to give Ottawa the lead 15 seconds later. And a minute 20 after that, Boston gets back on even terms. There's a deflection on Hammond, and to be alert on that to smother it. First team to score more than 2 on the Hamburglar. And in the latest sequence, Pajot and Krug exchanged goals. 4 apiece in the nation's capital. Well, he was a minor hockey star in Ottawa, and his last visit here, he called his best game in the NHL. Pair of goals for Ryan Spooner in that game. Had a 3-assist game against Nashville, but something special about scoring 2 back home against the team you grew up watching, and he's done it once again, which has Sue Spooner receiving texts, I'm sure. And Ryan did mention today he got a number of texts after the last game, and some were from supportive Ottawa fans and others from less supportive Ottawa fans.
I'm sure their phones are blowing up as both mom and dad are working the phones right now. Very proud situation as their son has put on a show here in his hometown.
And again, he's given Claude Julien cause for an extra deliberation with David Krejci's return imminent. Here's Matt Pumple, the old junior line mate of Ryan Spooner, out on the ice. Here's a bad angle chance, and Rask stops that off David Legwand.
David Legwand gets the goal earlier in the game, and somebody who's had an up and down season. Obviously, he's slotted on that 4th line center. He's a veteran guy. You use him for leadership in the room as well, but you've tapered his minutes and called them sheltered minutes because you're playing against maybe lesser matchups, and this is kind of where he is in his career. He can certainly help the team and the organization. Now he's playing with younger guys, Matt Pumple and Alex Chiasson. That's where he needs to lead by example for this organization.
Cody Ceci winds and fires, and not sure where that goes. It's in the glove of Tuukka Rask. Some traffic in front after a face-off win in the Boston zone.
Well, Finnish goaltenders, they always work on catching pucks. The thing that I've noticed and worked with, obviously I played with Mika Kiprusoff in Calgary, and I had the opportunity to train in Finland with 3 summers. They always talk about no rebounds and catching pucks, and you look at the best Finnish goaltenders, Tuukka Rask, Pekka Rinne, they all have one thing in common, and that's an active glove. They prefer to catch it wherever it is in the net.
Remarkable that there was a time when that was the weak link in the Finnish hockey program, but certainly no longer. Eric Condra, pair of assists in the game, banks it out to center. Hamilton there. Chara off Eriksson, and back into the Ottawa zone. Weird caution into the end boards by Soderberg, who comes up with a puck. He's ended a scoring slump tonight. Carl Soderberg knocked down by Ceci. Strong defensive play by Ceci, and now he and Soderberg after it again. Ceci with an outlet, off a skate to the point, held in by Krug. Soderberg tries to center, Weirkosh staples him along the boards. Eriksson off the wall, trying to play it for Kelly. That doesn't work. Sent deep by Seidenberg. Good shift for the Bruins, hemming in Ottawa. Weirkosh unable to move it as Kelly intercepts. Now it's Krug again with a pass and a hot shot by Marchand, stopped by Andrew Hammond. Under 4.5 to go here in the second in a 4-4 game. Take a look at the 2 second period goals for Boston. Ryan Spooner and then Torrey Krug. First team to score more than 2 in a game against Andrew Hammond. So the streak is over, and Hammond will have a share of the all-time best start along with Mr. Zero. And a 76-year-old record will now be shared by Hammond and Brimsek.
Outstanding work by Andrew Hammond, regardless of how it ended. He's really played with house money and done a terrific job here to help the Senators to get back into that playoff race.
Record not important, but the result of this game is. Brad Marchand in the zone. That pass intercepted by Mark Stone, and he'll roll it out. There's Bergeron, rink wide, looking for Marchand, knocked down by Carlson. And they're going to call it a glove pass. Even though the puck was sitting on the line, they will bring the faceoff back into the zone despite a discussion from Erik Karlsson.
Tuned in too late for the puck drop? Bell has a new feature that lets you restart a TV program already in progress and watch it from the beginning. Restart, only with 5 TV.
Take a look. Erik Karlsson said, wasn't that in the zone?
It's on the line. Turris grabs it, and then there's a conversation afterwards. There's certainly been a lot of emotion on the ice between not only the players, but the players and the refs.
Krug took a shot. There was a screen that didn't hit the net. Marchand tries to center. Knocked away, but held in by Seidenberg. Plays to an open side in behind the net. Drive up. Tied up. Puck loose, and Turris will head north for Ottawa. Pass doesn't work. Trying to get it back, and then sidestepped a hit from Seidenberg, who had him lined up. Down goes Stone. Puck comes back to Greiba. Greiba fires, and that goes off Marchand. Stone in behind the net for Pollock. Watched by Seidenberg. Stone to the point. Drive up for Borowiecki. Fanned on it. Now sends it deep. Gets past Turris, and Seidenberg will send it out for Boston. Marchand rolls it in, gets a change. And you can hear Andrew Hammond give the instructions for Lazar to wheel. Curtis Lazar in deep. After it against Luke Cheek. Pajot tried to center it. Cut off there by Bartkowski. He lost an edge, and we're under 3 minutes to go. A giveaway. Pajot in front! And he just shot it wide. Oh, that's a couple of great chances for Pajot. He's got one, just missed another. And now a shot by Wiercioch that Condra can't redirect. Ottawa with the push here. Looking for their 3rd lead of the night. Condra watched by McQuaid. Trying to come off the board, spins it back behind the net. Bartkowski there for Boston. An outlet to Pasternak. David Pasternak, the rookie at center, will send it in. CC after it against Big Lucic. A hit from Pasternak on Legwand. Rookie on Bedrin. Puck in front of the net. 2 Bruins are there. And no shot. Chara will fire. Right on rebound. And Hammond down to make that stop. Lucic along the boards. Watched by Ceci. Swings it back to Chara again. Another shot. To easy stop. Kick to the corner. And there's Campbell after it. Bruins with a return push. And Ottawa just plays to center. 100 seconds left here in the second period. Zibanejad works the boards. Following up now is Ryan. Bobby Ryan tried to center. Legwand was there, but the puck was cut off. Now a pass in the slot, and Zibanejad shot goes off Max Talbot and up onto the netting.
Andrew Hammond under fire in the Ottawa Senators zone, and does a terrific job off the initial offering. Lucic is going to pop it back to the point. Chara fires it. You can see Pasternak has the rebound. Hammond missed with the initial save, can't get a good grab on it. Bobby Ryan helps take away the rebound, and then Chara, a little bit of mismatch there physically. He lays the business out to Bobby Ryan, finishing his check.
Both teams with 2 goals in the first period and a pair of goals each here in the second. Legwand and Pajot for Ottawa, Spooner and Krug for the Bruins. Patrice Bergeron up against Turris. There's Torrey Krug. His shot, traffic again in front of Andrew Hammond as Turris comes away with the puck. Final minute of the period, and a great pass ahead. Hot shot, glove down, rebound, and it was collected there and played out by the Bruins.
What a pass by Kyle Turris to find Erik Karlsson. A little saucer play. A nice shot by Karlsson.
Mark for thought. And now Karlsson with 40 seconds to go. Again, a good pass ahead. Stone to the attack. Stone unable to work his way past McQuaid. Off the glass and out for Boston. shots are 26, 25. Ottawa, 25 apiece. Game tied, shots are even. Reach ahead and center. Gryba took it away from Marchand. It is Pajot in behind the net. Dying seconds of the period. And that is going to do it. Another wild frame here in the biggest game of the season as Lucic and Pajot have words and maybe a little bit more before they get to the dressing room.
Pajot has been a thorn in the Bruins side all night long and not backing down. Milan Lucic doesn't like it.
Setting the terms for the third here in a playoff-like game at the Canadian Tire Center. Tied at 4 after 2. Here's Brian Mudryk. Claude Julien's from this area. There's a look at Claude when he was a member of the Quebec Nordiques. And it's games like this that lead coaches to lose their hair.
Before and after picture, I guess.
Let's take a look at the second period summary brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it, and both teams for the second straight period score a pair of goals. Both teams have had the lead, and who takes the lead next as we head to the third period of play. Jamie, it's been a wild night. Jean-Gabriel Pajot with an important goal shorthanded in that fury of a second period.
It absolutely was an energy period from Jean-Gabriel Pajot, and he's stabilized in that third line situation for the Ottawa Senators. He's done a terrific job, and we've seen what he's been able to do offensively. He's gaining more confidence with the puck, making short little plays, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer to settle into the National Hockey League. And once you gain that confidence, you have the ability to use your talent and maybe make that extra play where before you're a little bit nervous to not win over your coach. And we also saw him a little bit spunky, nose-to-nose with Chara and Lucic in that period.
So the season series is tied at 2 apiece. We go to the third period here. The game is tied as Marchand plays it ahead. Turris line up against the Bergeron line to begin the third period, and dashing in. Marchand is after it. Mark Stone quickly closed on him. Marchand gets it back. Max Talbot has moved up on this line, as he often does in the late stages of games since being acquired from Colorado. As he takes the spot to Pasternak, and now Stone's away. Stone with a pair of points in the opening period. In over the line, he'll swing it deep, and there is Turris. Tied up by Bergeron, and Seidenberg takes over. Up off the boards, and the puck will roll inside the Ottawa line.
Interesting pace early on here. You could see both teams kind of wading into the period to see how they're going to generate offensive opportunities.
There's a shot on Rask. Pajot looks for the rebound as he comes out along with Condrup and Lazar. Condrup set up both goals in the second period for Ottawa. Lazar works the boards, dug it loose. Now a pass across. Ceci is shot right on, and no rebound with Lazar on the doorstep. Our player profile brought to you by Asante, providing complete financial advice. And there's Ryan Spooner, who's been a headline story in his second straight visit back home.
They're certainly enjoying that home situation. It's nice when you have your parents and family and friends in the stands and you actually be an impact player. It's a real good feeling, and that's something you grow up dreaming of. And Spooner certainly been a difference maker in the last couple games here in Ottawa.
Veteran hockey writer Wayne Scanlon on Media Row has seen a lot of Ryan Spooner over the years. His son was a winger in that minor midget team that Ryan said was one of the highlights of his career as a minor hockey player in the Ottawa area.
Now we've got another injured ref that just took a slap shot. He's on the hobble.
And we've seen situations where a team has run short of goaltenders. What happens if we run short of a referee here tonight? Jerry Townend, the athletic therapist of the Senators, quickly out to attend to Francis Chiron.
at the laser beam. Puck pops out into the neutral zone. It's just wired back in along the wall. Sharon takes the worst of it. Lucic just trying to hammer it around and gain the change. Gets a good chunk of it, Sharon, and he's certainly on the limp. We'll see if he's able to continue. As you mentioned, Chris, there's no other option for the head referee. Both linesmen would take over. That's more minor hockey situation.
I can't remember this ever happening where we're potentially down to just the linesman.
Certainly the linesmen are capable of doing it, but like you mentioned, Chris.
But a game with so much at stake is not the situation you want, and
not at all.
And yet may not be another option here as Sharon trying to shake it off, but not getting a whole lot of weight on that leg yet.
Well, he's trying to buy a little bit of time for himself.
Again, Kelly Sutherland injured in the first period as he gets caught in traffic between Spooner and Chiasson.
And then the dump in by Lucic that he turns on the play and takes it on the side of the leg or the back of the leg, and you see him leaning on the boards for support, try and fight through it, see if he can continue on in this game.
Boy, a little Mark Borowiecki and Francis Sharon.
See Lucic skate over to him and give him a little tap. It's the first time the fans have actually cheered for the refs tonight.
Yeah, it's impressive stuff for Sharon to shake it off as quickly as he does.
I don't envy the refs. They do a terrific job. So we get on them a lot, and obviously both organizations, fans, you know, the heat of the battle, but they do a real good job of not only keeping order, but allowing the players to play and getting in the middle of the garbage. So the hazards of the job tonight.
Both teams making changes here as the face-off will come just outside the Boston line. And back out comes Pajot up against the third line of the Bruins, centered by Soderberg. Both those two centers have scored tonight. Chris Kelly couldn't reach it, drive up. And now Pajot dashing back in. Band on the shot. Smallest guy for the Senators just hit by the biggest man on the ice, Zdeno Chara. Soderberg to work. Onto the right side. Here comes the bad angle shot, and the rebound ricocheted back onto Hammond, who holds on.
Urban Attitudes from Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Chris, you talked about Chara finishing its check here on Pajot, the biggest player on the ice against one of the smaller ones, but again, it's Pajot not letting up, taking the hit to try and make a play, staying within it, and that's what he's been able to bring all night, and he's been terrific lately for that third line as they've helped stabilize the Senators.
At least a foot difference at 80 pounds, roughly, between the two.
Full person.
Pajot not discouraged. That's knocked down. Here's Zibanejad shooting it wide. And it will boomerang back out to center ice. Louis Eriksson looking for it. Again, Eriksson with the game winner 9 days ago on a terrific individual effort. Chara strides back together. 3 minutes into the third. Then Seidenberg will play it in from the Ottawa side of center. Around it goes, Mafat looking for it. Bruins center it, and that'll be picked off by Stone. Man on the pass. Chara will regroup inside his own line. Dumps it down the ice, and Carlson back to get it. Up off the glass, and quick pass Bergeron out to center, and Stone skates onto it. For McCulloch into Stone's corner. He'll play it to Turris, who opened the scoring 19 seconds into the game. Talbot starts back. So Talbot has joined Marchand and Bergeron. We see Pasternak has moved to the third line. Looks like Riley Smith's out of the mix for the time being after a giveaway in the second period.
Chris, you see how close it is in this race. 83 points to 79. If you're the Ottawa Senators, you need these 2 points in regulation. You don't want to give away even one for an overtime situation. The amount of games left at home, the Senators, it favors them 8-4, but the amount of playoff teams that they're playing too is close in numbers. And this has had that playoff feel all night long, that energy, and it hasn't disappointed. I know the fans are pretty excited.
Trying to get the 2-point win to move within 2. Have yet to beat the Bruins in regulation, an overtime and a shootout win so far this year, and the Bruins have a pair of victories in this 5-game regular season series. Washington still within reach. Coming into the game, Ottawa within 7 of the Caps with a couple of games in hand and a game left. Eric Condra hit along the boards. And now puck fed ahead and rolled in by Campbell. After it against Greiba. Shielded off Campbell, played ahead by Ottawa, and out they break with Chiasson. Dashing down his off wing. Chiasson will load it up and fire. Kicked away by Rask. Eriksson will play it off the boards and out.
Good shot by Chiasson. All made possible by Mike Hoffman driving the middle lane.
Giveaway and Hoffman with a shot. And Legwand will send it back to the point. Karlsson shot, changed direction, just rolled wide. And a centering pass is blocked by Rask, and he'll hold on.
Post or tweet your photos to #SamsungSensFan, like this lucky fan did, for your chance to win fabulous prizes courtesy of Samsung.
Nice little opportunity for Mike Hoffman in front, throws it towards the net. Legwand's going to pop it back towards the point. Karlsson with a little snapshot and the redirection in the high slot that just eludes Tuukka Rask, as David Legwand was running a screen on him as he didn't track it till the last second.
And Dave Cameron has tweaked his lines. He now has Pumpel out with Zibanejad and Ryan. You saw Hoffman on that last shift along with Legwand.
Throwing the players in the blender a little bit to try and push the pace up here in the third period.
Scooped in on the backhand by Louis Eriksson. Karlsson up ahead to Zibanejad. He has a pair of goals against the Bruins this season. Pumpel digs in after him, gets a cold shoulder from Chara. Back to the point, Karlsson flips it high off the glass, moving up his Mafat. He takes the bump from Dougie Hamilton. Soderberg's on it, defers to Hamilton, and both teams in the midst of a change. At least Ottawa was. Soderberg stays out for the time being, and now his line begins to change as well. Turris to the attack, drops it off. Stone over the line. In deep, tries to center, denied by Krug. Torrey Krug up the boards. Chipped by Marchand, and now a break. Here's Brad Marchand with Talbot going to the net, and a shot off a leg wide. Krug unable to hold it in at the point as it bounces back into the Boston zone.
It was good work by Kyle Turris to get back to make that a 2-on-2 situation, and it forced everything to the outside, and it was easily played away, but good work on the back check by Turris to take away odd man situation.
Turris turning at center, lost the puck. Marchand brings it in. Brad Marchand unable to hook up with Bergeron, and it's knocked back into the Boston zone. Past 7 minutes of the third. Far more cautious here in the third. And that's probably not a surprise.
I think the coaches are more happy with this type of pace and cautiousness, as you pointed out, Chris, instead of the exchanging chances as we've seen in the first two periods.
Now Lucic back up top. Return pass for Lucic. He's watched by Pajot. A shot, and look at the traffic with Pastrnak parked right on the doorstep in front of Hammond. Knocked off his stick. Condra took a hit but gets it away. Pajot trying to spring Curtis Lazar on the far side, and Adam McQuaid caught up to that. Pajot dashing in to help out. Comes loose, and Spooner now. An outlet for Lucic. It knocked back onto Spooner's stick. Solo mission, and he shoots it in and gloved down by Hammond.
Calm play by Hammond. Knows there's no forecheck as the Bruins were changing, so he pops it down. There's no whistle in their own zone.
So it's Legwand with Hoffman and Chiasson now. Newly minted line for Dave Cameron. Hoffman bats it out of midair, in behind the net. Chara with an outlet. Daniel Paille into the middle. It gets past Campbell, but it's swung in deep with Riley Smith. Will take a turn now on the fourth line. Borowiecki in behind the net. Smith trying to dig it out of there. Plays it back to the point. Seidenberg for Krug. His shot wide of the target. Seidenberg moves up. Hoffman watching him. Nobody at the point as it comes outside the line. Smith in some trouble. Here's a 2-on-1. It's Hoffman and Chiasson. Hoffman in the middle, and it's kicked away by Rask. Hoffman knocked down, but got the shot away. And that's the best chance of the third period for Ottawa. And an enormous stop by Tuukka Rask.
Chrissy pointed out Riley Smith getting an opportunity, and he turns that puck over. That leads to the opportunity. So Claude Julien probably not going to be happy with that scenario, as Smith is already -3 on the night.
Boy of late, Mike Hoffman can't buy one. Here's Eriksson in. Shot blocked by Karlsson. Hamilton moves up. In deep. Dougie Hamilton swoops around. Bad angle into the glove of Andrew Hammond. We approach the midway mark of the third, and Mike Hoffman's been talking to himself tonight. Thwarted by Tuukka Rask.
Chris, Mike Hoffman has had a real up and down night here. He misses a wide open net, and he's generated chances or been in position to get opportunities to score. It just hasn't found the back of the net, and had some good ice time early in the game, and it's been bled a little bit by Dave Cameron, who's popped him down on different lines, and that last chance just eludes Tuukka Rask on the blocker side, but Hoffman has been able to at least be all over some chances, just unable to convert.
Pajot line out there now with Lazar and Condrup. Oh, a long shoot in, and that was shrugged away by Hammond. Be alert on that long-range test. And now a wraparound try by Soderberg goes wide. Back to Chara and across Hamilton. Condra trying to take away the shooting lane. Past the midway mark of the third. A push here by the Bruins. Soderberg on the forecheck. Borowiecki moves it ahead, and now it's Lazar out. Knocked down by Hamilton out of midair as Lazar is knocked down inside the Bruin line. Soderberg sends it deep, and both teams start to change. Karlsson fanned on it, giveaway. Shot stopped by Hammond. Best chance for the Bruins here in the third on a Karlsson giveaway. Now it's Krug sending it wide. Karlsson knocks it away from Talbot, and it's McCulloch starting out slowly. Karlsson picks up speed into the Bruins zone. Swings it across the ice, and that got by everybody, and Marchand will turn back. Turris gets back in a hurry, and a solid defensive play by Kyle Turris.
That was great work by Kyle Turris to gain body position so he could reach in on Marchand and turn that puck over as he tried to get towards the net.
Now the thought for Stone. Unable to reach it. Lucic has got some room with Spooner. And that shot will be covered by Andrew Hammond, and Karlsson lamenting that giveaway that gave Talbot a chance for a Bruin lead.
Andrew Hammond's going to bail out Erik Karlsson. Last man back, it's turned over to Talbot. Hammond makes a nice blocker save. It goes to the corner, and Karlsson very frustrated with himself. He heads over to the bench and yelling and basically showing the emotion of a leader. The coach, Dave Cameron's going to walk down and give him a little tap and say, you know what, you do so many positive things, you can live with a mistake here or there. And Andrew Hammond does a terrific job of bailing out his star defenseman.
Shots are 8-5. Boston here in the third. Bobby Ryan in. He put a shot on goal. Rebound. Scores!
towards the net. Coaches talk about it all the time. Cody Ceci's going to chip it wide. Bobby Ryan just funnels it towards the net. Tuukka Rask tries to control the rebound. It bounces right off his pad, and Pumpel driving hard to the net. It hits him and eludes Rask. Goes through that short side between the pad and the post. And the Ottawa Senators have the lead with 8:32 left, but it's just a harmless play by Bobby Ryan, and it actually looks like it hits Chara's left skate.
So we'll wait to see who gets the credit for the goal, but it does end up off Chara. And in. Pumpel a swat at it. Ceci drove in there to try and cause some havoc again.
I don't think the Senators care who gets credit for it.
They'll give it to Chara.
Exactly. As long as they're up 5-4.
Well, can they make this lead stand up? On a regulation win. They have the lead, but lots of time left. 8:08 here in the third.
Senators goal in the Santos GCDM 6-18 of the season. Scored by number 6,
Bobby Ryan will get credit, so it is off Chara, and then Ryan gets his 18th of the year, and point number 50. Here's Mike Hoffman into the zone. Centers, like one, a backhand off the side of the net. In behind is Chiasson. This newly formed fourth line, if you will, like one, Chiasson and Hoffman. They've had some chances. Chiasson off the boards. Carlson across. The thought to the net goes wide. Back on it, Chiasson. Like one from the corner. Neither team has had a 2-goal advantage tonight. Matt Bartkowski for the Bruins. Slowly out and banks it off the boards. Mathot there to knock it away from Eriksson. Cleared over the glass and out of play after the Ryan go-ahead goal. We'll join hosts Ian Mendez and Gord Wilson after every home game for All Access. Presented by Bell, live on the Sebs website and mobile app. Ryan from Ceci, 11:28, the go-ahead goal here in the third. 7 minutes to go in regulation time.
Chris, you talked about momentum and both teams kind of wading into this period, being very cautious. And happens to be right now the Senators on top by a favorable bounce and just putting pucks towards the net.
6 goal in 14 games for Ryan against the Bruins. We mentioned he has a game winner and a shootout decider in the 2 previous victories by Ottawa over Boston this season. There's a chip by Condra. Pajot unable to catch up with it. And Seidenberg takes over for Boston. Torrey Krug advances. Trying to hit Louis Eriksson, who was in deep. Check that. Chris Kelly, who was streaking in off the right side. Hamilton moves up now. Plays it in behind the net. And there's the former Senator Kelly. Out to Chara. Can't handle it. Gonna have to recalculate at center. Gave it away, and Turris will take over for Ottawa and wind up. Here comes Turris into the zone. Sends it toward the net. Deflected high up onto the screen with under 6 to go. A fortunate bounce off Chara into the net. And Ottawa has the lead. Canadian Tire Senators Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Bell. Hockey just got better. By Molson Canadian, diehard fan and proud partner of the Ottawa Senators. And by Scotiabank. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank. What a night it's been here at the Canadian Tire Center. And in all the accounting, it's been 4 Ottawa leads. This is the 4th after the bounce off Chara and in. Ottawa's led 1-0, 3-2, 4-3. And now trying to make 5-4 stand up. It's Mark Stoner shot, and that's gloved at the side of the net by Rask. Let's check our Molson game story. So far, first time a team has scored more than 2 against Andrew Hammond in his young NHL career. Another 2-goal effort for Ryan Spooner. And a lot of goals on the board, so some stats have been padded here tonight. Face-off win for Ottawa. Ceci doesn't have a shooting lane. Stone behind the net. Turris off the wall. Back to the point. Weirkoff sends it wide. Rask bats it into the corner. Bruins are out. Max Talbot now out with Marchand and Bergeron. Cody Ceci in his own zone trying to twist away from the forecheck. Turris off the boards and out. Flicked in by McCulloch, and Ottawa will change. 5:05 left in the third.
Chris, that was great work by Weirkoff to be physical along the wall to break up that play.
Lucic had a little trouble with the pass. Ottawa busts out. Pass for Ryan. Credited with the go-ahead goal here in the third. Matt Puffle back out there again. Pasternak slick pass to Spooner. Knocked away from Spooner, and Ottawa takes over once again. Ryan plays it to the Boston line. Bouncing puck. Zibanejad's got it. And a bank in front that Pasternak was able to intercept. Suddenly, all the bounces going against the big captain of the Bruins here in the third.
He looks like he's fighting a little bit in the third period. Got crossed up earlier at the far blue line, at the offensive zone blue line. Goal goes in off of his skate, and then there with a little turnover. So bouncing pucks here on the big captain for the Bruins.
Deflected in by Lazar. Veteran Seidenberg knocked down by Condra. And it's going to be a penalty against Condra. So the Bruins are going to get a chance here. Another power play for Boston. Oh, it's going to be Boston. It's Seidenberg going off. A hand on the puck. I didn't think that there was anything wrong with the Condra hit.
Yeah,
and it is Seidenberg going off.
I thought it was going to be a soft call, but you could see Condra physical, and then Seidenberg just hand on the puck. It is the right call. He knows he's under duress. There's another forechecker there to take the puck away, and puts his hand over top of the puck, and the Senators have an opportunity to really take a stranglehold here. 4 minutes left in the third.
Have to be wary. Bruins have 8 shorthanded goals. But another strong play for Eric Condra. That's an icing call against the power play of Ottawa. We'll take one more look.
Well, the forecheck by Eric Condra is just going to be physical. You can see Seidenberg tries to stop up. Condra knocks him over. Pajot's right there. A 2-on-1 situation. Seidenberg's the only person or player that is between Pajot and the net, so he puts his hand over top of it. And the ref right there to make the call, the right call. Francois Charon is, I have to include him in the stars tonight, just with him taking that hard slap shot from Lucic and continuing on in this game by himself.
Talk about Ottawa resilience. Here's Turris, little chip and chase to recover. Now back to Weirkoff. Turris sets it up along the wall. It'll be sent back to Weirkoff. Cross ice, Carlson sends it to the net and just wide. And it will ricochet all the way back into the Ottawa zone. They'll reload this power play with fresh troops coming over the boards, including Zibanejad. 3 minutes left here in the third. Zibanejad in stride, trying to break through. Knocked away by Torrey Krug. Into the corner it goes. Ryan lost his stick. It got caught in the glass. And here come 3 Bruins, and the play offside as the puck was over-skated by Kelly at the line. And that all because Bobby Ryan had his stick come out of his hands at the other end, caught in a seam in the glass.
You get an opportunity, and just bad ice at the far blue line. Bobby Ryan goes behind the net. Stick gets just caught in that stanchion, and now it goes the other way.
We have seen almost everything tonight.
Almost. There's still 2.5 minutes left, so.
Yes, there is.
Power play 30.
Here comes Zibanejad, a half minute to go in the power play. Not much of an offensive thrust here yet. Carlson. Senators looking for some insurance, making sure they don't make a mistake. A man to the good as the Baker's dozens left on the power play. Carlson walking in, trying to throw it across as Ryan was upended. Fans react, play stop, but no penalty.
The fans not happy that they feel that Bobby Ryan was upended by Zdeno Chara in the high slot. Now Chara, we know he's a heavy player, just overpowers Bobby Ryan, and puck nowhere near. They felt that that's an interference call. Maybe you get a little extra leeway because they're on the penalty kill, but certainly that's a borderline interference call if you ask me. That could have put the Bruins down 5-on-3.
Over 19,000 here have just taken away that start. Francis Sherrill.
Exactly.
Lazar with a shot, deflects up onto the netting. As the penalized player, Seidenberg has returned. We'll visit the Senators' Facebook page after every win to vote on the Marks Man of the Match. Big short-handed goal for Jean-Gabriel Pageau here tonight.
Well, Chris, he's listed at 5'9", $175, but he's playing a lot bigger game, just face-to-face with some of the bigger players of the Bruins, obviously setting the pace offensively a little bit, getting some chances for that line. He's been outstanding.
Here's Krug, took the pass, then dropped it off. Looked like he split the D. And a little bit surprising. Another one of those set Bruin plays, empty net, and the shot goes wide. Lazar missed on the empty netter.
We tried roofing it. Dougie Hamilton was playing net. I don't know if Lazar knew there was an empty net, but forced it wide.
Well, the goals have been hard to come by for Lazar. Out with a chance to ice this. As we're down to 80 seconds left in the Bruins net. Empty for the extra attacker, Marchand. Back to the point. Krug, Hamilton. Exchange passes. Fans buzzing with the net empty. Hamilton across. In deep. Hammond the stop. Loose in front. Knocked to the boards. Bergeron reloads. Hamilton across. They look back door again. Loose puck. Lazar off the board tonight. Chasing after Condra. And Hamilton gets there first into the final minute. Sent in by Marchand. Borowiecki will wrap it around. Held in at the point. Good keep there by Krug. Now the Bruins will set things up with the extra attacker. There's a puck fired across and blocked. A chance to get it out. McCulloch get along the boards. Now he'll glove it to the line. Held in by Pasternak. Shot blocked. And Hamilton has to scramble back quickly. Under duress. Stone and empty net. Mark Stone across. Kyle Turris scores! First goal of the night. Probably the last goal of the night. And now a 2-goal lead, and within 2 of the Bruins in the standings.
Good work here on the post by Andrew Hammond down low with an extra attacker situation, and then it's going to go down the other end. Dougie Hamilton tries to be strong on the wall. McCulloch gets underneath the stick. Stone picks up the puck. And an unselfish play as he throws it back door. Turris finishes it off, and there's burgers everywhere. It's raining burgers out here. People are being selfish, just throwing the bun. Where's the meat?
We kindly ask fans to please stop throwing items onto the ice, otherwise alcohol will receive 2 minutes.
Yeah, the announcement comes across.
They didn't discourage the hamburgers being tossed, but they wanted it after the game was over. Kyle Turris, for all intents and purposes, has ended it. A goal at the 19-second mark, and now he scores with 19 seconds left in the game. And this remarkable Ottawa Senators story takes them within 2 points of the final playoff spot in the East.
Chris, you talked about that playoff feel and the pressure, and the young team has to go through it. They dealt with some adversity early on and fought through it, and coming out the other side with a big win.
Here comes Zibanejad. This game is done, and the Ottawa Senators get the regulation win they were looking for.
It was outstanding work by the Senators all night long. It wasn't pretty at some points throughout the game because there was some defensive lapses that cost a couple goals, but they stuck with the game plan. I think Curtis Lazar's having a little post-game snack right now. Hope there's not a weigh-in tomorrow morning.
Well, the Hamburglar was not the story tonight, but the resilience of the team and the most important 2 points of the season was. Let's check our Molson Canadian 3 stars. As mentioned, Kyle Turris started it and ended it. Another huge night for Ottawa native Ryan Spooner with the pair of goals. Jean-Gabriel Pageau good in the face-off circle and a short-handed goal as well. A game that had just about everything. Our version of March Madness. 6-4 final. Ottawa now 13-1-1 in their last 15. Hamburgers all round. 6-4 the final. And let's head to March Madness as we say so long from Ottawa.